Talofa guys, welcome back to another, probably a joint episode we're going to be doing Saturday to Sunday. Siave, Bo in the back there. And yeah, we're just heading to Apia now. Spend Sunday with my mom. It is Saturday in Samoa, but I thought we'd leave on Saturday. So it's about 5 p.m. now. And yeah, we're going to head to Apia and then head to my mom's place. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. We'll see what we can grab on the way to Apia. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share our channel, guys, and see you soon. Alright guys, so you guys saw there the van with the trophy on top and the flags. It's Toa Samoa for Toa Samoa fever here in Samoa, because I think they've got, yeah, they do have a game tomorrow night, so tomorrow evening. So that's why you can see the flags up. You might even catch the parade on our way if there's still the parade going on. But yeah, that's the occasion why the cars are all dolled up. I think they've got a car parade going on, so yeah. But yeah, we're on our way to Apia. We're just gonna stop by at Farmer Joe here at Palolo, one of the supermarkets, and grab some stuff, and then we'll head off. Alright guys, so we've just left Farmer Joe there. We're about to head over to my mom's place, but also wanted to show you guys, I think it was pretty cheap, the beef we saw here. It was about, what I'm thinking was that, look at this. This is a huge chunk of silver-side steak, only 20 bucks. That's super cheap. I didn't know that. So we got some steak, silver-side steak for the bit of bike. There you go, the bike gang there. We got those steak for we're gonna do the chicken fried steak again. Potatoes for a potato salad. We're also gonna do a bit of soup. Got some soup bones, and then mamoe for the which is a favorite for me. But yeah, we're about to head out. We can see some parade activity going on at the moment, so might go by and say hi. heading home. Sorry about the detour, but the kids wanted to see if there was any parade going on in the city in Apia, so that's why we had to take a detour. But you know, so it might as well just record what's going on in Apia on the parade. So we're gonna head home now, and then yeah, might call it a night, and we'll catch you tomorrow. So we'll see how. Talofa lover guys, welcome back. It is morning, Sunday morning, and me and siave are just about to head to the fish market, just to grab some fish for the oka, also some coconuts as well. So yeah, we crashed as soon as as soon as we got home last night here at my mom's place. So yeah, and then just woke up now, so we'll head to the fish market now so you can grab some fish, and then come back home and begin our cooking. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this portion of the episode. We'll see how we go, so see you soon. Alright fam, so finally here at the fish market. We're just gonna pop inside to grab some fish and some other stuff, so join us for the small walk. Alright fam, so just finished market. We're heading off now, head back home. Morning tea, kikip buat kaya boat. Ano master. Alright fam, so we are now in the kitchen, my mom's kitchen, but we'll show you what we're working with today. We've got these soup bones. I was going to do soup bones, but I might just use it for the steak. Then we've got these huge silver side steak. Look at that, $22. That's cheap. So I actually got two of that, one here, one down there. See that? Then we've got the lamb for the mamoe for kapisi. We got potato salad, which we'll do, veggies for the stir fry. And last but not the least me and siave bought that fish today, so this was albacore. So I'm just fridge so that you know, we can harden it up before we start cutting it. So we're going to get cracking. See, I was going to get started on the potatoes, but I'll get started on the other stuff. So catch you guys soon. All right, we've got the water for the potatoes on now. We've got the mamui, that's on the heat. Also got the taro for the umu. See, I was working on the potatoes, and they'll probably come last. So just need to get started on the steak now. I'm just cutting them up and then, yeah. Right, so over there finished with the potatoes, so we're gonna pop it into the heat now, and then try and finish that off so that we can work on the other stuff. All right, potatoes packed to the brim. Quickly check on the mamui. All right, so that's looking good. I'm gonna chop up some onions, pop it in, and then begin aromatizing it and the usual herb. All right, guys, so we're just gonna get started on the pak choi. I want to get it out of the way because usually when I cook these, I have to try and soak them first in a bit of salt water, just so that there's enough. I like to kill off any microbes, because usually there's a bit of, on these pak choys you'd either find caterpillars or some nematodes, so that's why I like to soak them in salt water so that it kills off any of these small organisms, but also wash them before we actually put them into the actual food. So see, for example, so I think that's here. So that's why we soak them in very high concentrated salt water. You might be wondering why we're doing potato salad. Only because siave and Bo wanted to have potato salad. And small opportunities like this, you know, might as well give them potato salad. The kids want potato salad, we give them potato salad. So we've got a few taro in there for the, you know, adults, but we've got a lot of potato salads. Majority of the food today, inga pakik salad pakik, kalwaya kamay. Engo foi qua fi ai salak pakik mo meu kamiki folding kamiki qua o kamiki town kamiki yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. So just want to finish off the pakik. If you guys saw when we went to the fish market this morning, see there's quite a lot of stalls, and that's the beauty of a fish market in the morning. So much produce being sold there, coconuts, taro, veggies, lots of veggies. One of the surprising things was the tomatoes. So tomatoes, a pack of tomatoes. So wait, so a usual pack of tomatoes would cost around 15. There was one point where it went up to 17, this size here. So this used to cost 15 to 17 Samoan tala. At the market this morning, it was $7. So that's super cheap, only because there's a lot more of it in abundance. But that was surprising thing was that no one was, I mean, there was hardly anyone buying tomatoes. And, you know, I don't know, I'm just thinking maybe the reason behind it, you know, tomatoes are so good, but it was so cheap, and I wasn't seeing, you know, people buy most of it, especially on a Sunday. You'd think on a Sunday they'd fly out, but no. And probably because people have just been so accustomed to, you know, when the price of tomato went super high, no one started making, you know, using tomatoes for any more food, and as a result, people just weren't into tomatoes anymore. Maybe that's why. But who knows? Well, that's just my observation, you know, and I guess that's what happens when you hike up prices every now and then. The next time the consumer comes back, just not for it anymore. All right, I think that's pretty good. So we're gonna head, we need onions. Should we do onions or do the, yeah, we'll grab the onions now. Obviously, I wish you give me. All right, and we're back. So I'm just getting the onions ready for the falai mamoe, but also have it in abundance for the steak as well, which we'll probably do. So over there, it's my older brother. Just finished with the coconut for the oka. So probably find time to squeeze the coconut cream out later on. But the oka can be last because we're actually leaving the fish inside the fridge to firm up a bit. It's such a, I don't like chopping fish when it's soft and stuff. I like it when it hardens up inside, when it's nice and frozen, because that way it makes it easier to cut. Because when you chop up fish while it's you know, all, you know, at room temperature and stuff and not frozen, usually they become mushy and stuff. So that's why I like it frozen or semi-frozen, as that way it's a lot easier to chop them up and get them into the shapes that you actually want. So yeah, but this is just the onions for the mamoe and the mamoe and the steak, but I want to get it out of the way now, so come time to get the stuff ready, we are all set to go. Yeah, so tiring, but it's good, you know. I'm always happy to cook, and I thought, you know, it's been quite a while since I've been at Gua, and I thought might as well just come cook for my mom and hang out here for this Sunday with the fams and stuff anyway. So that's why me and Siave and Bo were like, all right, let's head to Apia. And yeah, comment down below what you guys usually have for dinner. I'm just thinking back, I don't know if we have students, if there are any uni students that watch our channel. But I'd like to know what you guys usually cook on Sundays. I remember back when I was in Auckland, attending uni, and that time, so this was for my postgraduate. My undergraduate was in Canberra, but for my postgraduate, I cooked a lot of food inside my small apartment. So the small room actually had everything I needed. A toilet, all in the small room, kitchen, sink, bed, and a study desk. So that was really good. And yeah, when I used to, on Sundays, there was an Asian shop down on K Road that I usually go to and grab mamoe there. Pak choy was cheap as well. Funnily enough, the mamoe there was a very cheap piece of meat. The lamb flaps, that is, and that's why I enjoyed it a lot of the times on Sunday in New Zealand, especially because I lived in town. I was wondering why it was so cheap, but maybe because there were hardly any Pacific Islanders in the city, and that's why it was such a cheap cut. But when I went down to Otara and saw the price of mamoe there, I knew that, yeah, that's probably the reason why it's so expensive in Otara, because there's quite a lot of Pacific Islanders there, and hardly, it's one of those cuts of meat that always goes every time. So, but on that Asian place on K Road, it was super cheap. But yeah, comment down below what do you guys usually cook on Sundays, not just, you know, the students or anything, but the majority of you guys, what do you usually cook wherever you are? I know that some of you guys watch from Australia, some in the United States, some in New Zealand. What do you guys usually have? It's very interesting to see the difference in menu I mean in food that people cook on Sundays, especially like Kako Samoa, Samoans or Pacific Islanders in general. I'm always curious what you guys cook on Sundays, because I want to know, do you guys do a lot of shopping? Is taro readily available? Coconut cream, the usual stuff, especially the cuts of meat that here in Samoa, based on where you're at, it might be different. I remember when I was in when I was down in Canberra, you hardly find lamb flaps, but there was a lot of lamb shanks, and sometimes there was lamb. Sometimes there was lamb shanks, but there were also lamb nicks, but you hardly find lamb flaps. So we always, when we cooked with one of my Fijian friends, Solo, who was in Canberra, I always crack up because lamb shank is something I hardly cook. But then you work your way around. It. Kako Pacific Islanders, we're very adaptable people. Also, tonight is the Toa Samoa game, so looking forward to that. I think it's against Tonga. So go Toa, but also go Matemato. I'm biased because I'm Samoan. So if we have some Tongan people watching our channel, go Matematonga, but go Toa Samoa. Oh, and one of the other things, might as well talk about it now since we have time. And the majority of the times when I cut things, when we cook, it's always just like music playing in the background, and then I speed up things. But I thought might as well talk about it since we have the time. I was watching Parliament this week, and there was someone said, one of the members of Parliament said that the price of things have gone super high, inflation and stuff. And I think, they said that things, imported foods were a lot cheaper than the actual local ones. And there's some truth in that. But I always wonder why people why people don't grow their own food. And I think that's the only solution to the high cost of living, is everyone just grow your own food, because that way it brings down the cost of most of the stuff. It's very hard when I think it also comes down to the diet people have. Not many people, back then I remember growing up, sometimes it'll just be a fa'alifuanki, and that'll be it, which is super simple because the only thing you'll spend on is the sugar. But fa'alifuanki is absolutely free because you get the taro, coconut cream, coco Samoa, or maybe tea bags as well. But that's about it. And you think about these days, the diet is mostly, we've got to have some meat in there. You've got to have, people prefer rice everyday eating as opposed to taro. And I guess that's why things have gone up a bit, is because, we're too dependent on imported goods for our everyday needs. Whereas we can just, if you grow your own food, you're less reliant on stuff. Because that's one thing I did start to notice when doing farming, was that I actually started to notice that things became a lot more cheaper for me personally, was because we had our own taro, we had our own beef, veggies, sometimes, but the majority of the time it was just rice. We were buying oil, onions and stuff. But everyday living, that's where it becomes really expensive. And that's why it's important, if you're gonna do everyday living, then just stick to the normal stuff. But there's some truth in what was said, but I think that's the only way. If you want to challenge or counter the high cost of goods and food, just grow your own food, and that's sustainable living. So then that way whenever you know, prices go up, you won't be affected because most of what you're eating, it's in your backyard. But yeah, that's my 2 cents that no one asked for. I'm just gonna finish these tomatoes, guys, and then we'll get started on the beef soon. Alright fam, so we've just finished the tomatoes. Tomatoes are there. Cabbage pak choi is soaking. Potatoes is coming up to heat, and my moe is about ready. So I want to reduce this down until it starts to fry. It's already cooked, but once that's done, it's reduced. Then we will add in the other stuff. But I need to get started on the steak now because it does take a while. So remember, as usual, we always try to take have the steak take most of our time, so we'll get to that now. Alright fam, so we are now done with chopping up the steak. That's a fair amount of steak. This actually cost 40 bucks. Can you believe how cheap that was? Look at that. $22. That is super cheap. To be honest, I think I might so now we're going to add in the stuff to tenderize the meat, which is the usual corn flour. And then we'll let it sit for a bit. One of the other things I'll be adding as well is a bit of sesame oil, just for a bit of that toasty flavor to add inside. And then we'll let it sit for about half an hour, and then we'll get to frying it. So we've got Pam's corn flour, maize corn flour, any corn flour will do. Corn flour is corn flour. Just pop that in there, a generous amount, don't be shy. And what we want is for this, I don't know what the science behind this, I'll probably get back to you on it. But man, this thing works wonders. The merely corn flour with beef. I don't know what's the, but it tenderizes it super quick. It gets that velvety, look at that. So we'll just quickly, it gives it a very nice velvet, but also tender meat. I don't know what's inside corn flour that actually works the magic. So after we add this, so we're still gonna do our usual flour, pepper, batter, but this is just to help tenderize the meat a bit. In here we'll also add MSG. Can't find my MSG, but if you do have MSG, probably want to add it in now. That's MSG here. Bit of yum yum, that's what they call it. Bit of yum yum. We'll pop that to the side, and then we've got our sesame oil. I don't want too much because I don't enjoy it when it's too much. That toasty flavor, but just enough. Bit of Italian seasoning, we'll pop that in there, and then that'll lock in most of the flavor. If you guys see there we go, look at that. I hope you guys are enjoying the audio. You know, now that we've got the wireless mics, big thanks again to the couple in Seattle, retired US Marines. You haven't seen that episode, do see it now, who donated us a very great equipment. And you know, our content has gone, you know, next level because of this kind donation. And you know, this is what I mean. You know, we can I can actually talk to you guys now, because sometimes when I record, it's always difficult because I want you guys to hear what I'm saying, but sometimes the camera is too far away from me. But with this microphone, yeah, things have been very easy now. I can be 10-15 meters away, and the camera's rolling, and still have that connection with you guys. But yeah, like oh. Also, if you guys have the time, wish the Toa Samoa, you know, all the best for their game tonight. This episode will probably air after the game, but you know, I have confidence the boys will do well in their game. All right, that looks good enough for me. Maybe just so that it helps everything stick together just a little bit, not too much. Just a 5-second rule, 5-second rule. All right, I think we're eating good today. All right, so yeah, so we'll let that sit now, and then we'll get back to you guys afterwards. I think everything's going pretty good. The oka left, we're gonna start frying this, and then we'll leave the oka last. Also, my brother said he might have a surprise for us when he comes to have toonai, so we'll hold him to that. But yeah. We're king is solo my kwasa look we appear. Alright fam, so just poured out a bit of that oil because it wasn't frying. It wasn't browning off the way I wanted. That's because there was way too much oil in there. So we poured it out, and now we're gonna finish off the filet. See over there, just rinsing the cabbage. Remember, we soaked it in salt. So we're gonna do 3 rinses. And then once the 3 rinses is done, we're gonna pop it into the mamoi. After that, get it up to temperature, and then add in the tomatoes last, and then take it off the heat. So the tomatoes, I don't like them, you know, fully cooked. So that's why we add it last, and just let the steam from the actual cooking cook it, you know. All right, so just added a bit more black pepper because of what see over here already rinsed the cabbages, so we will pop it in now, I think. Yep, let's pop it in now. Why not? Give it time to cook. Now I'm a bit worried at the moment. I think we have way too much cabbage, but you can never have way too much cabbage, you know? You might have less cabbage, but if you have too much cabbage, that's never a bad thing. That's always a good thing. Now, I'm just worried as well because and my mom told me to use the big ulo. But me being a fiapoko, I probably should have used the big ulo, as she said. She murmured fiapoko pea faya kumaku. I didn't follow one me refe me maku. Adia. Huh? Go my way for early skin. And then I would do more ulo. I did it umaka him. But it's okay, you know. Live and you learn. Learn next time. Uska imaku. Adia. Uska imaku. Umapeka kapisiko. Eka ke panga le ulo le tumule le ia ere. Wangi mai mawasi kupi. Mengai kupo kinga inga fa mai mawmia. All right, so my mom there and my daughter going to church now with my brother. You can see Abby staying back to finish off the cooking. I think, yeah, it's pretty good. We'll wait till Siave comes back to show you guys. Oh, there he is, Telly. And Siave's back. So here we are. All the cabbage, pak choy is in now. All that's left is those tomatoes. So I'm just gonna cap this again. You see this? This is how cooked it is. The bones falling off. So we're just gonna cap it, and then after that, wait till it's cooked. And get started on the steak. All right, fam. One thing that's heavy on my mind at the moment is the oka, the ngiu for the oka. So I think I'll probably get that out of the way, and that'll free up most of the time. So we're gonna go ahead to cacao for the oka now. So must be an emergency there on the road.
This is another reason why I think, if you guys remembered that duck episode we did, I told you guys I had problems with my wrist, and I think this is probably why, because the wrists aren't as strong as they used to be when I was young. So at this age, everything's wearing and tearing, and you know, you hear creaks all over the place in your body. So it's probably can't juice the coconut as I used to back then. But we'll get back to you guys after the news is done. Alright guys, so just finished squeezing the coconut cream. I know I was seriously considering the Apia. You know, or kaupopo is 10 talofa kaupopo, whereas the Apia is only like $4, almost $5. I thought it's a lot easier if I just whakau, but with oka, always best to squeeze the fresh coconut juice, and that's why I thought, you know what, we'll put in the effort to squeeze the coconut juice. So I always try to filter it through here, the kawanga, and that way we catch any bit of last bingle that comes out the coconut shavings, and then we squeeze all of it out. All right, now that that's done, we can focus on the other things, as the coconut for the oka is done. So just give me a break for 5 minutes. All right, so just checking up on the mamoe now. I'm pretty sure it will go villa, so yeah, because as you guys can see, the actual volume has reduced now, so that's good. So we're going to add in the tomatoes now, and then take it off the heat, so that we can save up the space for the next stuff we're trying to cook. All right, tomatoes in. And then just 1 or 2 scoops so that the tomatoes can go down. And bam, we are done. I'm just going to cap this and put it to the side. All right, so we've pretty much done now with the first cook, the first piece of dish, the first dish. Now we're going to get the batch ready for the steak, the batter. So remember, our batter is pretty simple. It's just flour, black pepper, salt. I guess that's it. There's nothing special. And again, we're using the plastic bag as I usually do. There's quite a lot of steak, so I think we'll just over like kikia the amount of flour we need to add. I think that should be okay. Pop it down here. Black pepper, a generous amount. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. All right, and we'll add salt. All right, and that should be it. So we're gonna use the electric fry. We're gonna use the electric fry for this because it has a lot more space, and it can get a lot more done in a small amount of time. So we'll quickly go check on the steak. So as you can see, I'm pretty sure it's nice and tender now, and so you guys can see it's very nice and tender. Pretty sure it is now. So we're gonna pop them into this batter here and then start frying them. So we'll catch up. We'll be back with you in about 5 minutes. All right, team, we're just about to start the steak, but I just noticed that so I need to pour it out so that we can cool it down. get a little bit of lower. So we're gonna pour it out. It's super hot, very, very hot. Whee! It is extremely hot. All right. Kalau kama fi ay salak pakik ka ngay ungar kama umafuay nga. After salak pakik. Ya nga kama we kakar fi au man ngal gwing. Gwing nga. Uy pe si iloy lungan law abi. Abi fa sa video uy pa ving. Pa ving fu nga vela. Umalo. Sawe olo mai ka ku kama de. Just a quick change of plans. I think start frying the eggs first before we get on the steak. Over there is getting the cucumber, doing that usual action which helps take out the, well, that's what they say, little nice eggs, the small size. Oh no, good gracious. I actually didn't want that to happen, but yeah, Malo Tom Hanks. It happens. Alright, so eggs are cooking. That's why I thought I might as well get it out of the way because they're fairly quick and then we get started on the steak. Alright, eggs are about done. I never like eating eggs fully cooked, so I always prefer sunny side up with a bit of yolk left nice and runny. So that's what we're doing. Is we're doing sunny side up eggs, and then that'll go well with the steak. Very nice size. I actually like these small sized eggs. Geez. All right. I will get back to you guys. Everything's flying all over the place. All right, so eggs are now finished. I was gonna pop them on the table with the potato salad cooling down. I've already gone ahead and threw some steak inside our batter. And now we're gonna pop that into the frying pan now. Being very careful it doesn't pop back and some oil spill on us. You know, it's always a nice feeling when you remember, as I told you, I like this recipe because my mom always cooks it, and when I was young it was probably one of my favorites. Not that we had beef but when she did, it was such a special time because I knew that we were going to have this dish whenever we had beef. So I think it's come full circle if you think about it, that what your mom used to cook for you, you are now cooking for your mom. And you know, if that's not a sign of a good son, hint hint, I think we're done. All right, we're gonna quickly go through the usual process, get this all done and dusted, then we start the gravy process. So be back in 10 minutes. Alright fam, we are on to our last batch here. There's one more in there, but that's probably most of it. Siave is getting started on the cucumber for the oka. You guys see in there. So all in all, we're going pretty good for time. I think we're doing really good for time. But may na lang mga sifi ko kaman o kamo siya. Umasang yan maumber makarkuru vavel. Oh, ye kai for sfu umakwa umbe. So there was a one man quicky okay masalo. I think if I ma kampangi may ay man o kamo. Or may kaya umang ayala o kamo may ay on my stock area. But yeah, we're finishing off. Really want to. Alright, so last batch here. So I've already thrown in the onions just so that we can have it on the side. But the last batch of steak is in now, so I think we're doing pretty good. We will probably get to the last bit in the next 5 minutes where we throw everything back in, add a bit of the stock into it, some water, the actual water, then turn it down, simmer, and let the gravy build up. Alright fam, so we have finished with the steak. I'm just going to, so we've got 2 lots of steak there. I'm just putting it to the side so that we can actually finish frying up the onions. And then everything goes back inside the actual fry. And then we start building up the gravy. So spread that out a bit. Let's go. And then what we want to do is just add a bit of that batter back inside, just to soak up all that goodness. And that'll be the base for the steak, or the gravy. Look at that. Avesal. Okay, so I think that's about good now. So we're just gonna pop back in all the steak. Oh, look at all that goodness. Whoa. Alright, so just quickly spread it out a bit. And then later pour it in. So that's a bit of the juice that it was soaking in where we had the corn flour. So I just added water to it. And now we're going to bring it up to temperature. Put it on simmer. Alright guys, we'll catch you guys in 10 minutes. So while we wait for the steak and the gravy to develop, we're going to get started on the fish. We need to cut it up. Alright fam, so we are done with the fish. Just quickly wash it, and then we will soak it in lemon juice, and just give it time to marinate in the lemon juice. It's coming along very nice, you guys see there the gravy, it is graving up, so everything is going well, except for the potato salad. We need to add the mayo, but yeah. guys, and we're now going to add the mayo to the potato salad. Also, my friend came by. He found out I was here in Apia, so he came by with omu. We gave him, as usual, Samoan custom tradition, Talofa. Oh, so I gave him a bit of our mamoe today. So I'm just gonna add now the mayo to the potato salad, pop it into the fridge. Everything is set, and me and siave are gonna take some rest. Take a bit of rest. Alright fam, so me and siave are done now. Only thing left is combine the oka, but I'm just waiting for everything to cool down. And then we'll combine the oka later once it's close to time to eat. But so far, the time is about 11:15, so me and siave are just gonna take a quick break and then chiquito. Alright, so it's almost time for toonai now, and I'm just about to combine the stuff for the oka. So we've got our fish. That's gonna go in with a bit of lemon juice still left there. I've drained out most of it, but it's just a bit left inside there. Okay, and then now we're gonna add the coconut cream. Before we add the coconut cream, I need to salt it a bit first, so we'll do that now. Probably a bit too much, but it's very nice and chilled now, the coconut cream. So I'm just gonna quickly taste this. That's very nice. Seems like there's something black in here. I'm just wondering if it's the shadow of the coconut cream. Because there is a bit of shadow there, if you see whenever Anyway, it's enough talking. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, so now we're going to add it in. Oh, so it's a bit of cucumber, that's why. And just gonna swirl it up a bit. And there we have it. So I'm just gonna get in some spring onions, and then we are done. So if you guys remember, they told you my brother was gonna come with surprise. It's Palolo. Palolo. So we're gonna fry that up now. doesn't help when the stove is really slow. So I prefer the gas ovens rather than the electric ovens. But excited for the Palolo.
Ai Palolo. Tupe, quá. Mà nó phải ăn hả mấy?
She fell into a food coma, but we'll continue the episode when I wake up. Round 2. Just woke up not too long ago, so I'm just gonna have something again to eat. Very hungry. Alright guys, also sorry we didn't have our usual show where we got to do the slow-mo. I think everyone got carried away because we're very hungry, but we also had masima here and also lemon chicken there. That was on top of the palolo we had and the other great food we did. So all in all, it was a very good Sunday, and yeah, I'm just gonna have second rounds and then we'll probably end the episode. Alright guys, so we probably come to the end of our episode now. I'm probably gonna log off. Very tired, very full. Had too much to eat, if you guys saw there. Went for second rounds and now still feeling like got run over by a truck because too much to eat today. I think we had a great toonai today. Mom really enjoyed it, everyone enjoyed it, and yeah. It was good to come cook for Mom every now and then. I'll probably do it more often when I get the time. I need to make the time, but yeah, it was very enjoyable today. Also, we had great food. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode as much as I did making it. We're going to sign off now. We're probably going to have some bread later on, but I think for now, best to slow it down a bit, you know, because I'm feeling the clothes are getting a bit stretchy. Do check out our other episodes, our other Sunday cooking episodes. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week. We will definitely catch you guys on our next episode. But until then, God bless, take care, stay safe. We'll see you guys soon.